Formula One is back in Montreal. Let's hope it's not going to be Groundhog Day. The local rodents have disrupted more than one race day here in the past. The Canadian Grand Prix is ready to kick off, and the only drama on the tracks we want to see is the best drivers in the world battling it out for a place on that podium. Gilles Villeneuve is a quick, free-flowing circuit in parts, with a stop-start aspect thrown in for good measure around the chicanes and hairpin bends. Medium-speed downforce will play a large part in avoiding the wall of champions and ensuring success at this iconic track. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder what else is in store for the teams. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let the weekend begin!
Stories, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey guys, you join me here on Snowman86. We are back on Formula 1 Manager 2022. So going forward, guys, we're going to drop this down to one video a week. We're going to keep it up because I'm enjoying the game, but we're going to maybe jump back to 2 videos of Farm Sim, all going well, going forward for the short term anyway, running into Christmas. Just as a change up, because probably these videos are getting a bit repetitive as well. They're kind of the same old thing, so we'll see how we're going. But we're here this week, guys, for the Canadian Grand Prix. No major updates to the car, but we do have a new aerodynamic testing period starting in 2 days, which is the end of this Grand Prix. And if we flick on our car, you can see our current projects. We are designing a new side pod, which should be here with us in 9 days. And our major one for next year's car is the underfloor research. Now for next year's car, guys, I think I can't remember if I showed it, so we're just going to quickly do it again. Where do I find it? I think it's here, rules and regulations. So you'll see that for next year we have a reduction. I think it was a 5% kind of across the board. You can see the airflow middle has hit the burst there on the chassis. If we go here again, you'll see the brake cooling is hit, but it's also again airflow sensitivity front and rear. So the cars could be a little bit trickier for following. We're getting a reduction in that area. Yeah, so I think that's where we are, and we'll just have to see how we kind of pan out here. We'll see pretty quickly once our underfloor is complete where we're sitting on that. But yeah, we're going to just keep manufacturing areas. It's all airflow, so if we can get our downforce up while also minimizing this loss, if not maybe gaining a little bit, we should be in strong position for next year's car, guys. There's no obviously the budget cap does reduce and keeps reducing yearly. That's just a standard thing with the game, unless it'll change later in seasons. We'll find out. And as of now, there is no sporting regulation change. That vote comes later in the year, guys. So that said, we won't waste too much more time as always, and we'll be back here with qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix.
We return for the next day of our highly anticipated race weekend, which sees the end of practice and the start of qualifying. Drivers will need to perform with remarkable consistency if they're to secure a strong position on tomorrow's grid. It's not just about one moment of brilliance. No, they'll need to prove over the course of qualifying that they have what it takes to occupy those coveted places. Stay with us as we see who can deliver on motorsport's biggest stage.
So guys, you join me for the end of Q2 here. Unfortunately, Theo got knocked out in Q1. A little bit messy and scrappy on our part. It was a wet start, dried out. We've left our drivers till the very end, and Theo just didn't have the raw pace to drag his car through. And you can see here on pace, Gasly is currently P9, so hopefully he can slip through into Q3. We'll find out here now shortly. So he's across the line now, guys. He's currently P10. Does he improve? Oh, he does. So we have a bit of breathing space, guys. So we're just going to wait to see everybody behind us, see what they do. Anybody else improve? No. So we are through to Q3, guys. That is a big result. So you'll see the pace has really ramped up here. The Ferraris are back and back with a bang. And you can see the Alpines are after finding a bit of pace as well, guys. So there's nothing separating a couple of cars there. literally tense, and yeah, pressure is on. You'll see Theo was knocked out, unfortunately, just a little bit, but yeah, could have been better, could have been worse, but yeah, he was out by a couple of tenths, I think it was. There wasn't much really in the end there between us and Sebastian, actually. But yeah, we're on for Q3, guys, so we'll be back with our final one in Q3, and we'll see where we're lining up on the grid. But it's looking like we might need to develop the car a little bit more, and maybe not push as much time to next year's car straight away, just to keep us in that competitive edge, because we're starting to slip out of the comfort spot that we were in, guys. And we are back for the end of Q3, so you can see that Pierre is just going across the line now to start his final flying lap. And we will time onto times 2. We'll see Kenny improve. Currently 6/10 off the pace. That's kind of where we've been all qualifying, which is strange. I suppose it's probably the same gap to the Red Bulls. Obviously other teams are developing and improving as well, and obviously their experience is counting maybe better than ours at the moment. So we just need to keep an eye on our developments as well, and make sure we maximize things to the best of our abilities, guys. But as it stands, we're on for a slightly better lap, so we'll see Team Pierre pull another masterpiece out of the bag here. We'll ignore that. It's a little bit annoying that it constantly pops up in qualifying. But we are crossing the line now, and we are P8, guys, at the end. So just under 6/10 off the pace of the Verstappen in the Red Bull. Mercedes are there, Ferrari there, and Bottas splits the Ferraris. So interesting. Again, there's not much between Bottas, myself, and Sainz, so excuse me, just to clear my throat. So not much between us. You can see it's literally hundredths of a second, and in fact, even the other Ferrari isn't that far away from us. Now there is a slight gap then to the Mercedes, and then Red Bull are in a league of their own. So if we can get off the grid here pretty quickly, hopefully we'll do okay. It's looking like a wet race, so we're going to go plan our strategy, and we'll be back here with the Canadian Grand Prix.
It's a bit of a cloudy day for the race, but the atmosphere as ever is electric. And there we have Pierre Gasly. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. And looking at the second Williams car. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. The teams are ready to go. This is it. We're moments away now at the Canadian Grand Prix.
So here we are, guys, for the Canadian Grand Prix.
Lights out, and away we go.
So we're finally racing. We'll jump on board with Pierre to see what we can get done. So we went ultra aggressive off the start here, guys, and the reason being that it's going to rain. It's going to rain pretty early in the race. It should dry up, I think, towards the end. But we just need to see what we can get done. Here, he's not doing any overtakes. We might get one here though, and we do. What a move! We might get a double one. We might get Bottas on the inside.
Doing what you're doing.
And a new position, just gained by Williams.
So hopefully we get Bottas here coming out of this one.
Nice work.
So we need to get Valtteri as quickly as we can here, guys. Otherwise we might lose the tail of that
And
Ferrari
there's an
in front,
overtake
and we
from
don't want to do
Williams.
that. And Theo is starting to make a bit of ground as well. That's all good, good.
Keep doing what you're doing.
So I think we can run the fuel a little bit harder. Considering it's going to rain, we can make it back later. But yeah, we're just going ultra aggressive. All these guys are on the
Good job,
mediums,
good
we're
job.
on the softs of both cars. So hopefully we can get a few places and see what we can do. I really need need to get past Leclerc, so we're on the back of Hamilton there, because you can see Hamilton is
Okay,
that
that's
little
good.
bit quicker.
That's good.
So we want to be on the back of Hamilton so we can take advantage of the DRS.
Okay, good job. Good job.
And sorry if my throat's a little bit rough. I seem to pick something up overnight, not sure what. But we're going to flick back to neutral here now and balanced.
Leave core increase, please.
Okay. Let's just do lift and coasting.
But I think we'll have DRS here in a bit, so I think we should be on this lap.
Use DRS.
And there we go, guys. So we have DRS now, so we can do something. Just pop over drivers. Actually, leave Theo running a little bit more aggressive, because Theo overtakes Norris. So Theo's flying up the grid, guys. This is good. And we've now managed to get a slight gap from Leclerc of 1.4 seconds. So that's important as well for us. And we should have DRS here now on Lewis. Obviously, he will also have it. The Mercedes and the Red Bulls are really having an old ding-dong here with each other. So that's interesting to see. So if we can just hang in there with him, they might just tow us along nicely, and we might just be able to gap. It's now Bottas in 6th place, so Leclerc's after losing out there as well. So that's interesting. Quick view of the weather. You can see, as I say, it's going to rain. It's going to be light at the start, and then it's going to get heavier and then thin out into dry. So we're going to play with the strategy a bit. There's too many laps there. I think, I don't know, Inter's, I'm debating between Inter's and wets, but we set the strategy up this way, so we'll see how we get on. Hopefully we get a couple of laps if we're going to flick to the Inters, because yep, that'll be a good tire. Otherwise we lose a lot of time, so we'll have to see. So Theo is flying, guys, absolutely flying. So that's good to see. He's making use of those fresh soft tires. So he's nearly into the points already, guys, and that'll be fantastic if we get a double points finish. Here in Canada, I would be delighted, guys. But we're doing okay. We're hanging on to the back of these guys, and that's important. Oh no, we've had a crash. So is that going to be a safety car now? Yeah, a VSC, so that's a chance for us just to harvest the batteries. We're going to
ESC.
ignore the call. And we're just going to set a standard, because we'll conserve a bit of tire. So with the VSC, we should be able to charge our batteries back up nicely, which will be good for us. We need to do that, because we did burn it pretty hard at the start to get into our position, so this might enable us to attack once more. The danger for me there is that if we fall too far behind, Theo is also far behind, so we just need to run it for a little bit. We just need to get that gap back down. I'm going to instruct them both to push as well, because we need to get their gaps back under the second mark. They're not keeping that delta. They should be keeping the delta, but they're not.
Make sure you give some energy.
Copy.
So I think we're racing again, and we just need to be in that DRS
DRS
area.
enabled.
And once we are, I think we can then flick one driver
we've had
back,
a spin.
flick two drivers back, because I think Theo should comfortably get Albon. Albon's making that tough there with teammates last year. Theo, nicely done around the outside. Gets the move done. So we're just going to speed it up there, and you can actually see, oh, do we get DRS now again because of that? No, Albon gets it. Interesting.
Alpha Tauri gained a place.
So you can see Leclerc's already just up the road, so he's having troubles as well. Oh no. Oh, Theo.
Oh, big lock up there.
I don't think I want to see it. I'm just going to see where Theo comes out. He's coming out with 18. So all that hard work, guys, is being undone. So Theo comes out all the way back down in 18th. And obviously Sainz and Vettel have had issues because their track there is Vettel. And oh, that could have cost us, guys. Will we get DRS? We will. So it's a full-blown safety car, guys. Full-blown safety car. So we're going to ignore again and ignore.
I think there's been contact on the track.
So
Let's
see
take
what
a closer look.
Let's see what caused
Now look
this.
at this. Daniel Ricciardo involved.
Somebody's going very slowly.
Goodness me, that is a serious collision.
Yes, Martin misjudges braking, and there you go, guys. That is a write-off.
Currently 15.15.
So we'll have a safety car that's going to group everybody up. So it doesn't matter how much we drop back here now
Is that a
from
lockup?
Hamilton, because from Hamilton, because the safety car will bunch us back up, and it'll be a chance for Theo to redeem from his mistake as well. So with that, guys, we're just going to speed it up. The safety car is now out on track, so it's going to pick us all up, and it's giving us a great charge just to recharge our battery as well. So we'll need that. So Gazzy catches the back of the safety car there now.
There's a risk of rain coming.
Ooh, guys, rain coming during the safety car. That could make it interesting. So we'll drive for another couple of minutes. I think we get a bit of time out of this. Yeah. Rain is due shortly though. So both cars managed to fully recharge the DRS. We're just going to leave them on charge mode. No reason not to. Oh guys, look at that. 4 minutes now. We have a 50% chance of rain. So this could throw the whole thing open. Interesting how that's happened. The safety car and now the risk of rain. When will it come? We don't know. But if we can be brave and be the first on it,
Safety car in this lap.
Copy.
Use the rest.
Copy.
so we're going to go aggressive now with both drivers.
Push
We're
hard.
gonna
Happy
get
to
rid-
push hard.
Theo, push on.
We look at reducing the lift and co.
So here we go, guys. It's
Okay.
going to be a quick blast around Montreal. We're going to be fast and aggressive, and the plan is hopefully make a few places, get in, get our pit stop done, and get going again. So the rain is definitely close now because we just entered our pits, and there is the rain, guys. We didn't even get a lap.
So it's raining. Just watch out.
We're going to be
Copy.
pitting this lap. So we'll see if we can make
Looks
any
like a
places
good
here. We're
move
going
for
to
Williams.
run it pretty hard and aggressive now because we can. And the
Seems
rain
to be
is
quite
definitely out now.
slippery.
Okay.
So I But everybody there was going to dive into the pits, so actually we'll flick this to neutral. And back to balance. Not everybody's into the pits, oh my god, I thought some... I was for sure thinking people would be into the pits. We're going to jump on board with Theo. Oh, look at that, like clockwork, guys. Oh, he's getting health. Oh no! Oh, Theo got held badly there. Pierre is out. And he seems to have a bit of free track in front of him, guys. So now Pierre can kind of push. And we'll see what we can do with Theo. Oh, look at that. Pierre is monstering it, guys.
I think it will be dry.
Oh no. So the track's after drying up, guys. But everybody's still coming into the pits.
And a new position, just gained by Williams.
So we're back out here, guys. The track is changing to wet, sorry. Had my mic muted, had a coughing fit and forgot to unmute it. So we're racing away here. Hamilton is behind us. And Theo has managed to come into P10. We're happy enough with that, guys. Theo has managed to come out in P10, so that's pretty good.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
Now I'm going to push on the inters pretty hard because I do think the rain is going to increase. If we look at our graph, we're due heavy rain, so I don't think the intros will be on here for long. So we're going to stay pretty aggressive with our drive and see what we can pull out. Theo is doing some serious overtakes, guys. Our people, Perez is on the wets, that's why.
Williams
Perez
there
is
gaining
on the
several
wets.
places in one go.
So Theo's having a storming drive down there as well, guys. And the track is slowly drying out again. So it's after drying out now. It would recommend dry tires, but I don't think that's going to last for too much longer. Now we've managed to get our gap up to Hamilton to a second, so that's pretty good. So we'll see if we can just keep building this advantage with our drivers. Theo is kind of matching pace there with Albon, so that's okay. It might be catching ever so slightly. But when you see where the Red Bulls are, guys, to where we are flying now in this race. So we can, oh, just as I say that, Lewis comes straight by us. Obviously, he must have got a helping hit DRS. And now it's going to go wet, so DRS will be disabled.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
We're going to deploy here because we want to get Lewis back. Oh, Lewis is fighting this one hard. We're just going to flick to neutral for a second and we can use our overtake then on the back straight. Ooh, there for changing to wet. So we're now going to take the brave decision
And box.
to pit both drivers again. And this time we're going on to the wets because the inters now are going to be very, very slow. And this is where Perez and Verstappen's race might come back to them because they now don't need to pit. They can just keep doing their thing. So what's interesting is will Lewis pit? Lewis pits as well. Oh. That was important. That was important. We didn't get held up there too much. So we're out. We're going again. Now Lewis is after getting a nice advantage on us, guys. But we're going to stay on the aggressive strategy because I think we can do that. Theo's in the pits now, so Theo might lose a few spots, alright. But as I say, Perez doesn't need to pit, anything like that. But Theo's done okay. He's come out in P8, guys. Still 2 seconds behind Albon. So Lewis does definitely have the pace on us here, guys, in these conditions. But we seem to have a bit on Bottas, so that's okay. What are our lap times like now? Last lap, yeah. So we're a little bit quicker than Bottas. Russell is faster than us, so is Sainz. Alonso, we're matching Alonso and Sainz. But Hamilton definitely has the pace advantage on us, guys. So we'll have to see. The Red Bulls haven't really worked out their strategy. Perez is P10, Verstappen is P15. So we are set now on this course, guys. As I say now, it's meant to ease up again, so we'll stay on the wets until, I don't know how that has happened, but we'll add new strategy, add new stint. We're going to go mediums, and I would imagine somewhere around there, create, select. And we're just going to do that for both our drivers because for some odd reason it got messed up. So I don't think we have softs to do that, no. So we'll have to see. It could be a flick between the softs or the mediums, but for now we're going to select the mediums. We can change that again later in time, but yeah, track is very, very wet now, guys. And pace now is looking relative, so we are actually a little bit quicker than Hamilton, so we might catch up back up to him with a bit of luck. But I don't think we need to worry too much about conserving our wet tires because we won't hopefully be on them for too long. But it is a race of many strategies. We're on our second stop already, and we're only 22 laps in, so that's something. We'll see now what the last lap from Lewis was. He did a 31.1, and we're doing a 31 flat. So you can see we're still a little bit quicker than the cars behind us. George Russell is the fastest man on track. What's Albon doing? 31.4, Theo 39. So Theo is flying it, guys. So with a bit of luck, Theo hopefully will catch up to Albon. He's got the gap down to just under 2 seconds. Gasly to Hamilton is just under 2 seconds. So we have a good race on our hands here, guys. As I say, a double points finish would be fantastic for us as a team. Definitely aid us in the Constructors. I don't think we're really fighting for a Constructors Championship or a Drivers Championship. But the more we can pull results like this out of the bag, the better we'll stand at the end of the season. Definitely, I think could be a toss-up between P4, P3 in the championship. Ferrari is rocket fast on its day, but doesn't have many good days so far this season. And they seem to be having another poor one here today, so we'll just have to see. But Perez, I would expect to catch. Oh no, no, no! Oh, that was Theo. Oh, I thought it was Gasly.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now we see the Williams here.
Oh, Theo.
You can afford to drop back.
So, poor Theo. It just has the worst luck there sometimes. And yeah, that's another one that's after coming back to bite him. Now we are pushing our drivers on. I suppose we probably shouldn't be for the weather conditions. And maybe that's a lesson that I should slow Gasly down. I'm going to heed my own advice and slow Gasly down, guys. Just because I don't want the same thing to happen to Pierre that just happened to Theo. Oh, poor Theo. We really need to get his levels up. Or do we just swap him out, guys, for next year and try and bring Theo in as our reserve driver? Don't know. But with us for this year anyway. We have to see what his contract does. Might be able to get him back as a reserve driver, because I do like Theo, and he will develop into a fine racing driver. It's just how much time can we afford to give him? How many mistakes can we afford him to make before we get to that point where we're like, we're fighting for a championship now, we need this. So this season I don't think is that, and that's why I think Gasly's going to be the main hopes for this year. Now we could see in the end of the season, sorry, excuse me, my throat is at me, and yeah, we'll see at the end of the season there might be a fantastic driver come available on free contract that we could pick up. Obviously we would have to break Theo's contract for that, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, since we've dropped the pace for Gasly, you can see Lewis is just stretching it now. We were pinning him, so I think we go back to aggressive, guys. And I'm going to go back to aggressive with Theo, because I need Theo now to drive on and start closing the gap again, because he was running P8, guys, and that's such a loss of points. So how are we looking here? If we go to track view, you can see that around lap 35, well, I suppose lap 31 or 2, the track starts to dry up a bit. Around lap 40, we should be running into the dry weather for the rest of the race. So I would imagine somewhere around lap 46, maybe in that area, 47, will be the time to flick the dries. But other than that, we're doing okay. Can we see drivers? Lap history, is it? You can compare drivers. So if we compare Gasly to, I think it's Hamilton, we will see that yeah, Hamilton is just stretching it all the time on us. So yeah, it's interesting. But I definitely think the quicker pace here from Gasly will hopefully reel that in. And we are just slowly stretching away from Bottas behind as well, so that's good. Might not be the race win we were hoping we might fight for there, but we'll see what happens in the dry weather too. Obviously other cars will start coming back through the field once it dries up. And the question is, do we pit again for inters at some stage, or do we stay out on the wets and go straight from wets to dry? I've been told, or from what I've seen, going straight from wets to dry does work. But we'll just have to keep an eye on lap deltas and all that good stuff. And just see. But yeah, no, definitely aggressive is the way for Pierre, because he's now closing the gap, as is Theo. So hopefully we can keep the mistakes to a minimum. As I say, we don't need to keep our wet tires for too long, so we can afford to burn through them. Obviously they will lose that little bit of performance once they get below a certain threshold, but Theo's managing to keep in pace. Gasly is hitting these tires pretty quick. That's a Ferrari I think we just passed, or possibly Sebastian Vettel. So now we're back on the ultra aggressive. You can see that Pierre is slowly catching Lewis. So that's important as well, guys. And I wonder, has anybody stayed out on the inters? No. The answer to that question is no. Nobody stayed out in the inters. Everybody went to the wets. So it's just a straight up fight between us and Hamilton for the lead. We'll jump back here to Theo and see how he's getting on. He is closing in nicely on Tsunoda and has managed to gap Norris behind, so that's good. Shows the pace is there, guys. It's just the adaptability for maybe driving the wet weather conditions isn't there. And that's a shame, because he's having such a good race up until that point where he spun on the grass. What can you do? Now it looks to me like the track is going to start drying out soon. So now we're running into the interesting prospect of, do we swap to inters, do we... Yeah, so around lap 35 might be the time to hit inters. We'll have to just keep an eye on this, guys. We have a couple of laps in it. But a pit stop from wets to inters could really, depending on how many laps we get out of it, we'd get about 10 laps. And we would be lapping a lot quicker than the cars around us. Do we take the gamble? It is meant to get wetter again, but wetter again as it currently stands. I'm gonna be bold here with the strategy call, guys. We're gonna pit Gasly this lap. Oh my god. We made a very bold move there, and that might come back to bite me. Oh, that one's gonna come back and haunt me, isn't it? Yep. It sure is. For 5 or 6 laps we're gonna suffer there. I should have waited. So I might have just cost Gasly there something special for the team. We're going to leave Theo out. I thought I was on that window of opportunity, but obviously I misjudged it myself. So we've just given Lewis Hamilton an easy victory, guys. The only good thing is, once it does start drying out, Pierre should be a rocket ship. See, this is what I was hoping for. But is it going to rain? I don't know. No, this is where Gasly should be quick. So Hamilton has pitted as well. Hamilton has pitted as well, guys. And in fact, everybody's starting to jump to the pits now. So that's a sign that we need to get Theo in the pits. Pit options. Pit this lap. And you can see that, well, it's worked out in some degrees. We've lost a bit of time to Lewis, but by pitting that little bit earlier we managed to gain a few spots, so that's good. We've gotten Theo into the pits this time around, so he'll be on fresher inters. So Russell now might hold up Hamilton a bit as he's on the wets. Might just let us catch just a little bit. So there you go, guys. It's worked out in somewhat of a favour. We managed to gain back P2, and thankfully it hasn't rained too much more, so we're doing okay on the inters now. Theo is still fighting with Joe, but I think we can just leave our drivers on aggressive driving, because to be fair, we're not going to be on the inters for long either, and we'll be swapping over to the softs. Now that swap over point is going to be interesting. What a race, guys. It's literally just been end-to-end action. The safety car at the start, the rain, the mix-up in the pit stops. It's just, it's all gold. We're on our 3rd pit stop, guys. Sainz now is in the pits. So Bottas takes back his commanding 3rd place from George Russell. And who's going to come out in P5? It's Carlos Sainz for the Ferrari. And I think he'll have Checo pretty close behind him. Theo's up to P13 now after some more pit stops, so that's good for us. And he seems to be gaining nicely on Joe as well. And you can see the track is just continuing to dry out, guys. We're still in a bit of rain, but from what my weather forecast is telling me, and it's 60% accurate, it's meant to dry up. So here's hoping that we get that one right. And you can see we're slowly reeling in Hamilton, but it is slow going. So we'll just have to see how we get on with that. Theo has the opportunity here for some overtaking, so we're going to jump on board with him. Make sure he gets it done. We're just going to keep him on deploy. I don't know how the Aston Martin got back past us there, but that's a little bit upsetting.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position. And a new position just gained by Williams.
I think we've managed to get that move done on Joe. We should have the pace to pull away from Joe as well. And Theo definitely has the faster car, so I would expect him now to just eat that gap up. And it is really starting to dry out here now, guys. The sun is out. So I expect the track to evolve pretty quickly as well, in a sense that once we get onto the dries, and I think it will be the mediums now looking at it. Strategy view. Yeah, so we need to be here again. So we need to add new strategy. And we're going to add one more stint. And wow, can't believe I'm doing that. That one more stint is going to be pretty soon, I would think. Add new stint. Will the softs last? So interesting, if we can get to lap 48, we'll just create two different ones. The softs might just be the tire to be on, guys. Now Theo might actually be able to go on the softs. Actually, Theo should be able to, because I think Theo has a new set of softs. So yeah, Theo could go on the softs a lot earlier because he has the tires to use.
Sun's coming out now.
So I think for me it will be a soft finish, guys. We just have to then manage our pace, definitely with Gazzy, because he doesn't have any brand new sets of softs. They're all scrubbed from qualifying episodes and stuff. But I think if we can get on the softs, we might be able to pull something out of the bag. So we just have to see how quickly this track now dries up on the inters. But our tires are still looking pretty healthy, and we're still catching Lewis, so that's good. We've got the gap down to under 5 seconds. Obviously our pit stops do need a little bit of work as well. You can see that we're lagging behind in that department. We did lose time in both pit stops to Lewis, so that's something we need to look at for the next couple of Grand Prix. What can we adjust in our pit stop focus to see can we improve it. I normally try and keep the jack release and the tire changing pretty high if I can, so I'm not sure where we're losing it, but so far so good. Now the track is really starting to dry out, guys, so it won't be too long before we can make this stop, and we're on lap 44. Oh, I don't know, can I get to the end on lap 44 with Pierre? We'll have to see. Like, as it is, he's more or less bolted on for a podium finish, I would think, at this stage of the race. So for me, really, what I'm thinking is we just gotta see him through that. So we're on to lap 45 now. Lewis is flying along through him. We're driving on board with Theo. And he's coming to lap somebody and they get out of the way. It's an Alfa Romeo, probably Sebastian Vettel. He's had a torrid race. So we'll jump on here with Pierre, guys. We'll just see how we're doing. Won't be this lap, but I think the next lap around, I might have to push Pierre one more lap on these inters.
That's a spin!
Question is, do I pit Theo now? No, we're going to give Theo one more lap as well. I should be pitting. Yeah, Pierre needs to pit now. So Pierre needs to pit, guys. So if Pierre pits, we are on this lap. Oh, just touch and go, but Pierre could make it to the end on softs. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pit both drivers now. So we're going to hit play. One.
Go in, go in.
And you can see that Theo has the fresh set of softs. So we're going to be pitting this lap. We're going to see, does Lewis pit this lap?
I think it will be dry.
So we're in the pits now, guys. Are we the first ones and the only ones to come in this lap? Now we gotta get Pierre to slow down.
I think there's been a lock-up.
Yeah, that's Theo. Theo doing Theo things, locking up.
Okay, back off.
Copy.
So now, the plan for us now is to get Theo to nurse these soft tyres till the end of the Grand Prix. You can see that he definitely has the pace advantage on the cars around him. And it's important now we get these positions done, guys, because Lewis Hamilton, I think, pitted. He must have, because the gap has come way down. And Valtteri Bottas, that was Valtteri Bottas we just overtook there, actually, I think. So now we need to get Theo to get into the race as well, so we can't go too harsh on him, but we'll get him pushing to burn up his fuel. So now it is more or less a straight fight, guys, till the end. I think Russell will inherit P3. What have people pitted onto? Am I the only one on the softs? No.
And there's an overtake from
Everybody's
Williams.
done the softs. So, yep, that is it, guys. I think we're pretty much steadfast on where we are. Theo needs to try and overtake Joe again, which is a bit upsetting.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
But I think Theo should have the pace to do it. Now the question for me is, can we get Theo into the points? Probably not. 20 laps. Everybody's on the softs. He'd have to do something absolutely special for that to happen. I just don't see that happening. But yeah, that is Lewis up ahead, I think. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, Lewis is around the next corner. So there's 2 cars ahead that we don't need to fight with. They should get out of our way. So we've 20 laps to go, guys, and it's just now a case of management. Try and bring this home in a P2, which would be a fantastic result for Gasly. Thought I cost it when I pitted him early off the wets, but thankfully it didn't cost us a whole pile. And yeah, we're doing an okay job there with Pierre. He's just running away doing his thing. So Theo's finally after getting Joe, but I think
And a
Joe
new
now is going to
position,
have DRS
just gained by Williams.
vomit and come back on us. managed to hold that position, which was needed. But unfortunately, the DRS is so strong here. I think Joe now is just going to be towed around with us until we get maybe into Lando's. Are we catching Lando Norris? Joe will get a good slingshot there and get us under the second window.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
And that might just enable us to catch Lando. And if we get Lando, then we'll all have DRS, except for Lando obviously, but it'll give us a chance to maybe jump Joe and stay there. Now Pierre's tyres have gone off the fresh blue phase into the standard burn phase, so we're just going to have to watch his fuel now as well, just to make sure he makes it to the end. And it's important that these overtakes keep happening, because that's what's going to bring us closest to Lando. Gap is now 1.1 seconds. I think we've broken the DRS to Joe actually, guys, so that's a big one as well. So what we're going to do is just get Theo to push attacking for a couple of corners. I want him to pull that gap into Lando so he gets the DRS. Now he should have it here, guys. So we can send him back to his standard racing. And hopefully that will see Theo jump to P11 now. Unfortunately it's out of the points. I think the way things played out, Theo would have been on for a fantastic result if he'd managed to keep everything on the track, and he'll get DRS again, and that's P10. Now the question is, what can he do? Can he catch the Ferrari of Leclerc? I doubt it.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
The Ferrari should be pretty quick. He'll give it a good shot, and maybe the slipstreaming with him and Lando might just enable that to happen as well. We'll just have to see. So I expect Lando to come breezing down past us here somewhere. He's not going to do it here, maybe the next race. And he's not going to do it either. Interesting. We are going to have to get Theo now back to balance. We need to finish the race, more importantly. You can see Pierre is doing an okay job. Now George is slowly catching us. As I say, the tyres went off that lovely grippy phase. But I think everybody's going to be into that non-grip phase now. So for Pierre, it is just a case now of race management. Try and bring home that P2. As I say, either way, I think a podium is on. But wow, the fact that Mercedes has just dominated here. It's a bit of luck, I suppose, with the weather and stuff, but Red Bull messed up their first stretch by going straight to wets. And that really probably handed the victory to Mercedes, but once they got the sniff of it, they took it. So it just goes to show we still have work to do, guys, because pace isn't there just 100% yet. Now we're down to what, 12 laps to go. It's about a 12-second gap. So Pierre is going to be touching very tight here on these tires. So very interesting indeed. I'm not sure how that's happened. Norris is after getting past, probably down the main straight, and has bolted. So I don't think Theo's going to do much on that one. He's just losing out now ever so slightly to Lando. And he shouldn't be, because I think our car is quicker than that McLaren. So it's down to driver ability after that. He's just not able to get the lap time out of the car. But Pierre's doing a great job still. So we're just going to speed it up for a couple of laps here, guys. Just as things kind of settle down. We just need to keep an eye. Is Joe catching Theo? There's every chance it could be happening. It's holding at 2.7. We are disappearing slowly off the back of Lando Norris, so we're going to push just for a couple of laps there. Just to see, can we get that back maybe? But yeah, you can see now the gap from us to Russell is down to 9 seconds, guys, and we've 8 laps left, so it's going to be very close at the end of this Grand Prix as to whether Russell will catch or not. Might depend a little bit on traffic, stuff like that. So we're just trying our best here with Pierre. Hopefully his tires hold on. He doesn't go off. It looks like he might go off the cliff before the end of the race, guys. Oh, so devastating. Yeah, it does look like it. But then saying that, others might go off the end of the cliff too. They all seem to be pushing on a little bit. So it might come back to us at some stage, guys. But we're down to 6 laps now, so we're just going to speed up these last couple of laps. We'll get to the end of the Grand Prix, see where we are, and hopefully we manage to hold on. So it's down to 6 seconds now, the gap. We don't have much fuel to play with, we don't have much to play with. All we have is our ERS. So we'll probably slow it down again for the final lap here, guys. We've 2 laps now to go. And oh wow, Russell is catching hand over fist, guys. Wow, look at that. He is flying it. So the gap now is 4 seconds. Can we hold on? I'm just going to give it a bit more. Now everybody's tires should probably be starting to struggle now. So this is it, guys. Last lap, hooray for us. It's a 3-second thing. I think we're okay. I think we've managed to hold on enough. I think we're okay. We could probably get Theo to go aggressive. Or probably spin. But he's P12, so it's not much. He might as well go for it. The Red Bulls have fought back bravely, actually, guys. The P5 and 6. They just overtaken Carlos Sainz in the last lap. So that shows the ultimate pace those Red Bulls have, because they were nowhere earlier and they're after managing to fight back. But yeah, I think we've done enough here with both drivers, guys. P2 for Pierre, it's another fantastic result. And for Theo, unfortunately, mistakes again have cost him.
That would be checkered flag. Checkered
As
flag.
I say, it's becoming a bit of a trend, so we just need to work on that and iron those mistakes.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Oh, and it's Hamilton! Lewis Hamilton with the win today!
But again, we could have had a double points finish. We didn't, but looking at the positives.
Okay, there's a big crash.
Oh, big crash.
Okay.
Who crashes on the last lap? Yeah, Pierre picking up solid points again for the team. Theo doing his thing, but we work on Theo. We've got a season to work on him. We're not going to change him mid-season, so we've got time to develop him and we'll see what we can do. Russell again was 2.9 seconds behind this guy, so we just had enough in the car. And yeah, delighted with that one, guys. That's another fantastic result for Theo, or for Pierre even. Theo's P12 is pretty good, but hopefully we can get a few more developments on the car. Now we'll have our reset of development time, and we'll see, can we improve ourselves and move up the grid just a little bit.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. This podium is a true recognition of everyone who's been working so hard for this result. The Frenchman was in sublime form today, fully deserving of his podium finish here.
I would agree
A
that
lovely occasion as we see all three drivers clearly relishing their moments on the podium. A very impressive showing today for Williams.
Yeah, this was a really clever bit of strategy, and it's great to see that pay off. I can't wait to find out what they show us next time.
And after this result, the team is fourth in the constructor standings.
For the next round, we're heading back to the heart of the UK. Get ready for a race to remember in Silverstone, the cradle of Formula One.
So we'll be back next time for a home Grand Prix for Williams. So we'll see, can we do anything special there? Maybe even a victory. Wouldn't that be sweet? But yeah, solid weekend again from us. We maximised everything. Theo, as I say, a couple mistakes. We'll work on that. We will get that. I get frustrated when it happens, but yeah, these things do happen. And in a weekend that Max didn't score a whole pile of points, we've actually managed to close the gap nicely on him into the championship. Lewis has now claimed second place with that Sterling, or third place with that great Grand Prix victory. It's his first of the season. So if we can just keep up the performance, guys, we'll be doing okay. The Ferraris had a rough weekend, guys, but they'll no doubt come back. And that rough weekend from Ferrari has given us a chance to close that gap back down to 12 points. I don't think Mercedes are catchable. 41 points. You never know. They could, if we get updates again on the car and stuff like that, we'll see how we're getting on. But for now, guys, this has been the Canadian Grand Prix. I've been Snowman86, and this has been Formula 1 Manager 2022. And if you've liked what you've seen, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you've gotten this far in the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, please. It means a lot. And until next time, guys, we'll be back for the Silverstone Grand Prix. Take care, and we'll see you all again.